Salutations and greetings, YouTube. So, we're gonna play a game that I have played in it before, but it is a dating simulation game. So basically, I'm a guy, a stud, and I'm gonna woo some chicks. Now, this one is one of the more well-known free ones that you can download. It is also, at the same time, one of the weirder ones. It's called Katawa Shoujo. It's a high school where people with different disabilities go to high school. Alright, here we go. Okay, so let's go with the adult content disabled because you can end up having relations with some of the girls. Let's just go for it. You get little pictures and little videos that you can unlock based on who you go after. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wood chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. But who knows? He said it was a place for couples. What's gonna happen? I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from this numbing cold. How long am I expected to wait out here anyway? The note said 4 p.m. Oh, the note slipped between pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. Sneaky. I wonder how she got it in there. As far as cliches go, I'm more than a fan of the letter and locker, but at least this way shows a bit more initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The flakes silently falling from the white-painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hisao? You came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. I really like the art in this. Whoever did the art for this game is pretty talented, I have to say. Hisao. Iwanako, I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Well, yeah, she's the one who showed up. Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. Ugh. Iwanako. Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. So I'm glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. I might have ruined something here about the story, but we don't know he has a heart condition yet. So I'm sorry about that, but his chest is beating heavily now. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst from my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold, Iwanako. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. A cacophonious noise is music to my ears. I think I remember this when I played it the first time. There is some excellent vocab words. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, as she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you'd like to go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. Don't mind me, just having a heart attack over here. I wanted to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond breaking point. Hisao? I reach up and try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain to my arms. Ah! Hisao? My whole body freezes, except for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. So, like, he had his eyes closed this whole time, and then all of a sudden he was like, oh yeah, I'm having a heart attack. My throat, my arms, my eyes. Hisao! The beating of my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak in the knees. If I was standing, collapse here. The world around me, the canopy of dark branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all this fades to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the insistent clatter of branches above. Bum, bum, bum! It'd be funny if it was like, the end! 4 Leaf Studios presents Katawa Shoujo. Inspiration. Writer. Oh, isn't the art just beautiful in this? Like, this could have been an anime. Oh, wow. These stills are so pretty. So, the girls we can go after is the deaf girl who has short black hair, and her person who can interpret for her, who has pink hair. There's a girl with no legs, a girl with no arms, the burn victim, and the blind chick. And I think that's the only people we can go after. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. I'm not going to try and go for anybody. I'm just going to answer every question like I would and just go after whoever. The first time I played this, I was like, burn victim. I'm going for her, and I got the walkthrough and everything and chose all the specific answers. But this time, I'm going to put his shoes on. We're going to just go for it. I'm going to try my best to interpret what his feelings are in this whole scenario. So here we go. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on the one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign, alien one you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition, it causes the heart to erratically and occasionally beat way too fast, and it can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time, and they said it was a miracle I was able to go so long without anything happening. Is it really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. But it really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Ugh. I already had a full day to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay in the hospital to recuperate from treatments. I don't know what movie or anything that this is from, but that whole thing about the arrhythmia not having a cure, it reminded me of something where a person goes to the doctor and the doctor's like listening to their heart and he's like, has any doctor ever told you that you have a heart murmur? No? Good, because you don't have one. Oh, and then there was that other part from that new movie that just came out. It's called Neighbors. Yeah, where they have the baby. And spoiler alert, this part's in the preview is the baby has a condom in its mouth. Well, obviously they took it up to the doctor after that. The doctor comes back to them with the results, and they're sitting on the hospital bed. They're holding the baby, and they're like, what's going on? And the doctor's like, your child has HIV. What? Is what could have happened. But luckily, she doesn't. Why would you say that to my mother? Run! She like flips out. I don't know. I'm a big fan of House, so I like it when doctors are butts like that. So anyway, because of the late discovery of this condition, I have to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, I felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending their sympathy to me had turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had any visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day and ever again. So he missed out on his first confession. Stupid arrhythmia. Gets you every time. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel so uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but he told me to wait and see if the treatment surgeries worked. So, idly, I observed the scar that those surgeries left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around, the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began making my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder for me to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. Ugh. A week would go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I paused in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all things surrounded me were painfully crashed into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book started to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest had become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But I didn't, because I'm so manly. But that only happened rarely. Psh! And I couldn't even cry. Like I said, I'm so manly, so charming, so muscular, so amazing. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he was trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is it supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine and looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hisao. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe you can go home. Your heart's stronger now. With some precautions, you should be fine. Yeah! We have all your medications sorted out, and I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? An absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together with a sea of letters. This is insane! Side effects, adverse side effects, contradictions, and dosages that are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting only makes me feel sicker. All of this for the rest of my life? Every day? I'm afraid that this is the best we can do at this point. So I'm gonna cut the first part here. Thanks for watching, and